Hello, guys. This is Akr News, but it is also our communist hypothesis for our political views on the world and how not only reading communist books on the state of change in the world and how the proletariat system can rise and change the successor to capitalism and such. What's your opinion, Greg? State what you've learned.
Well, that's a lot. I think there's a lot going on. We have to look at the history of different economic systems up until when capitalism is really formed, which is around the early 19th century, I think. Which, obviously it dates back to, the 15th century and colonialism, but,
The more commercial version was that time, but it's been going on for thousands of years.
Well, not exactly, no. Lenin wrote a book called Imperialism, the Highest Form of Capitalism. So most of what's going on is about how different structures can evolve over amounts of time. So, communism is in terms of how communism as I guess okay. People in the capitalist West tend to dismiss people from China or the former Soviet Union or Cuba or I don't know who else is left, Laos and Vietnam. But anyway, I guess that goes back to the former Soviet Union as well. Okay, so the point is that the leaders of these movements called themselves, generally speaking, the Communist Party, but communism was what they were working toward. It's not something you can bring about immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It's you gotta
have patience because it's almost as if we already have too much patience. We have less
it's the teleology. Does that make
sense?
That?
What's that?
Teleology is an end goal, if that makes sense. An Aristotelian metaphysics, the teleology was the unmoved mover. It was this sort of
you know what that's like? It's like a 0D point that acts like a 1D line. Like, based on the change of color, it operates just like it, but it stays in one point. That's exactly what it refers, what it kind of it's similar to.
What everything is moving toward, right?
Yeah, okay. but just a point can move towards something, right? It doesn't have to stay stable in one position because the universe is always changing. Okay, this is how I say it. This controller, we say it's in one position, right? It's not. The change in position is the Earth is moving in the solar system at incredible speeds, this is not in the same position it was earlier. We're always
Yeah.
moving positions. This house has not always been in the same position.
Oh, no, obviously. I mean,
Yeah.
like, that's the Earth's rotations, its movement around the sun, and then yada, yada, yada. There are probably movements within the galaxy and all that stuff. The sun may or may not be moving. I don't know. I'm not an astrophysicist.
The sun
or
is
anything like-
moving.
Yeah, within the galaxy. That seems to be the case, but as I said, I am not an astrophysicist.
The solar system moves around other bodies too.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I'm not an astrophysicist. And that
Well,
this
you don't
one
have to
is-
say that. You can just clarify that you can talk how you want. Because in this system,
That
we're
doesn't
in
make
a
any sense.
sphere of influence where we can just say what we want. This
Okay.
peer into the screen. This is a 5th place, not a 3rd place. We're creating a 5th place right here. We're not experiencing it over here, but when you look into the screen, it feels like more is going on.
Okay. So I think we should talk about the ideas of that are based around the socialist idea.
Okay.
And I think that creates a lot of like unique opportunities, sort of. So the way that the socialist tradition, which is the thing that we need to be working for in immediately.
Hence, we need to revitalize the Communist Party in America.
Sure.
There is a Communist Party in America that
yeah,
hasn't been functioning for a while.
Yeah, the CPUSA has been helping. Anyway, like, we can... Okay, so, I mean, like, we should probably, like, it isn't really about, like, the Communist Party of the United States of America has not really
been fully
it hasn't
accurate.
been active for a long time. The most prominent left-wing organization as such is the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. Got my issues with them, but
you know what I
think
noticed?
They're a vehicle.
You know what I noticed?
Mm.
The reason why a lot of like conservative or liberal Americans that don't support communism think that it's such a bad idea is because they think it's like you have nothing, you own nothing in a way. That's how they think, and they think it's like a system where it's boring. They think it's a boring system that has no entropy, no acceleration. It just is too stable, and it's like, but it's not, because in a system like this, we can have a surge of revolutionary aspects. We can it can become revolutionary where we could come up with even designs for tech that are beyond our capabilities. Not just tech, but food, medicine, health. We don't have to constrict it to the spiritual identification as communism. It's just like living in the same world as the United States. We have the same things, the same stuff. It's just a different system. Not exactly the same, but we just link it too much to Russia because we don't understand Russia. We've never been to Russia. And China. China's different too.
I'm not talking about the USSR initially. I mean, like, okay, I will talk about the USSR and the PRC, but not modern Russia and modern China. Those are like those ideas become difficult as they as different ideas about socialism and communism and Marxism and anarchism and all those things become more mainstream. I don't think the ways that the USSR and the PRC developed have to be understood within a context in which the Western powers, in particular the United States, were constantly trying to overthrow any communist or leftist government that would come into existence. So, or even like anyone who would seek to nationalize private industry. So like the big two that I come back to are the history of Salvador Allende in Chile, and Mohammad Mossadegh in Iran. So let's look at those and look at why the United States tends to help to overthrow governments that it doesn't agree with and squash any semblance of socialism. So we'll start with Iran. In that context, Iran had been ruled through a monarchy, Shah, and they become a parliamentary democracy, right? So they're elected. So they elected a person named Mohammad Mossadegh, who was Mohammad Mossadegh. So he was the democratically elected prime minister of Iran, and he sought to nationalize Iran's oil industry because Iran had and has a lot of oil, but the people who actually had control of the oil there were the British. They worked through a company called the Anglo-Iranian Petroleum Company or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But anyway, that company is now called BP. And so when the Iranian government under Mossadegh decided they should, control their own oil supplies, the US and UK organized a coup. They overthrew Mossadegh and they re-established the Shah, which Shah is just a king. They re-established the monarchy in Iran, and that created a whole bunch of shit. The Shah was, kind of a totalitarian dictator, and as such, a revolution ended up happening, and the revolution put in place the current theocratic government of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Sure.
I want them to convey that we're actually having fun with this, drinking it up while talking about these important topics, and we're getting lit.
Okay.
Turnt.
Yes. We will turn.
Have you heard the term turnt? They used to use that term back in the day.
Oh yeah. Turn lit. What else is there?
I don't know if anybody uses the word toasted. That's a weird.
That did exist.
When did that exist?
I'm not sure exactly.
90s. Oh, I'm getting toasted.
Oh man, I feel like that might actually be like a term that like transcends like generations, you know?
Oh, like something that's hundreds of years old.
No, I just think that I can't like specify where the term.
Oh, like it's like a new term, but it feels like it's from the past.
I mean, I've used it.
Can you hand me the energy drink too?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the United States overthrew the democratically elected government of Iran because Mohammad Mossadegh decided that he wanted to nationalize the oil industry. The people that he was taking oil away from were the like Anglo-Iranian Petroleum Company or whatever the fuck it was. Today that company is called BP, British Petroleum or Beyond Petroleum or whatever the fuck it was.
You know, they did similar stuff in India. I have some friends in India and Bangladesh that said the British were really messed up with them. Actually,
Bangladesh, dude. Yeah, that borders on genocide. What the British did in
not
Bangladesh.
only is a certain Al Qaeda and Islamic terrorists trying to destroy relics from Bangladesh, but also India and killing innocent people in Bangladesh and stuff like that. That's
Wait, are you talking? Wait, okay, so
that happened.
Muslim conquerors in Bangladesh and India.
They're destroying relics, destroying Buddha statues and stuff. Statues of Narayana. No, but that's actually been happening.
No, I feel like okay. Yeah, so in terms of the destruction of Buddhist monuments in South Asia, the big one was in Afghanistan, right, where the Taliban blew up these amazing ancient carvings of the Buddha. This happened before even 9/11, but yeah, so that's the thing, but that's not really what's going on in other places.
It's not going on. It's only going on in South Asia and areas around Afghanistan.
No. Well, you have to like if you're like I'm saying South Asia, but within that context, Afghanistan occupies like a different space. It exists somewhere between like South and West Asia.
What is it? 131.
Wait, what? Oh.
On your phone.
Here.
All right. I'm looking up the news so we can talk about any of the things that are happening right now. It's like our teleprompter in a way. All right, Google News. I know it's not the best place, but it's on DuckDuckGo. Let's talk about Charlie Kirk. What do you know about him? I don't know really what happened.
He was the founder of TPUSA, Turning Point USA, which was a group that I mean, it still exists, that has tried to, like, force, like, college campuses into a right-wing position. Charlie Kirk himself, I think, was a, I feel like he dropped out of, like, community college, and then he decided that he could, like, tell every university what it should do. He was a piece of shit. He wasn't, like, you know, I deplore political violence, and especially when it isn't useful, you know, and I don't think that that this was particularly useful. We'll see. I don't know.
Let's see what
there
else.
have been a lot of, like, acts of violence that are just people being so fucking.
All right, moving on to Emmy Awards. Do you know anything about the Emmy Awards? It says Emmy Awards come with snubs. Surprise ABC News. Biggest stars are being celebrated at the 77th Primetime Emmy Awards. It includes Gene Smart, Adam Brody, Martin Short, and
is The Bear nominated again?
The Bear is in it. The Bear, tying the all-time record set by The Bear in 2024. That was a good show.
Oh, it's a great show. It's just not a comedy. I mean, like, that's been the whole discourse, right? Like, the show keeps on winning for, like, best comedy, and it is not a comedy. It's an amazing show.
Sometimes I laugh at certain things, but even if you're laughing at a show, it doesn't mean that it's a comedy. Like, there might be funny things that just like Shameless. Shameless is not well, it could be considered a comedy, but it's also a drama.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know.
China artificial sun burns at 180 million degrees. They created an artificial sun. What the? I don't know if I trust this source.
They're working on nuclear fusion, which I feel like
East reactor maintains a nuclear. Dude, why are they doing this, dude?
Nuclear fusion. Dude.
Like, this is dangerous.
Nuclear fusion promises unlimited energy. Like, there will be no more solar. There will be no more.
Yeah, but the thing is,
everything will.
We can do this at a lower angle. We don't need nuclear fission to solve everything. We're just too lazy to figure out what to do next.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
If we're so lazy, then people are gonna start bombing other countries just because it's easier. No, it's kind of like in Naruto when the Akatsuki wanted to gather up the tailed beasts to use it for immeasurable chaos, right? They could have solved their problems doing it elsewhere, but yeah.
So yeah, the way that
Oh, have you heard of the show Only Murders in the Building with Selena Gomez, Steve Martin?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. We should watch it.
I've watched the first 3 seasons, and I'm excited for the new season.
What's it about?
So, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez are, like, people who live in the same apartment building in New York, and they start, like, investigating different murders that happen in their building, and they start a podcast about it.
What's their job? Are they just normal people?
Yeah, so I feel like Steve Martin, Martin Short's characters are, like, aging actors of some sort, and Selena Gomez is, I don't know, a depressed trust fund baby.
Damn.
Which I'm like, that's fine. Don't. I'm not criticizing.
What do you know anything about the economy? It says the economy is flashing at the moment.
Well, we have a lot of different